Commander Replay. Nicol Bolas the Ravager looks to remake the world in his image, as we try to engineer all of our creatures into dragons. Can we pull off this elaborate multi-card combo? Find out next on Commander Replay. Alright, welcome back everyone. Trying to make some genetically engineered dragons. We have 2 mana rocks in our opening hand. I like that. Let's keep. The one thing we are missing is card draw, but if we get enough mana, we can flip Bolas over, and that will get us some card draw. We can accelerate pretty quickly, so we can hopefully get past this Grand Arbiter Augustin, as long as they don't have a Sol Ring or Mana Crypt. So we're playing Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Turn 1 Sol Ring for the Gonti opponent, followed up by an Elixir of Immortality. Brings it back to our turn, we draw a land. So right here, I think we go Island, Sol Ring. I'll wait on the Mana Crypt, since I don't plan to cast anything with it this turn. Can save ourselves 1 flip. Gonti's gonna trigger. Points it at us. Ugh. That is a little bit dangerous, because they could be grabbing combo pieces from us, and that would be bad. Opponent says he regrets his decision. Okay. Right here, we're gonna lay down the Sunken Ruin. Yeah, I guess we play the Newscraft Mob this turn. Turn 2 Newscraft Mob, how about that? That's what double mana acceleration will do for you on turn 1. So we're playing Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Is 1 blue, black, red for a 4/4 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. You may pay 4 in Grixis to flip Nicol Bolas into a Planeswalker. Its +2 is draw 2 cards, -3, 10 damage to creature or planeswalker, -4, put a creature or planeswalker from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. So, pretty interesting array of effects on Nicol Bolas the Arisen. And given our double mana rock position right here, we may actually be able to flip into the planeswalker pretty quickly. Opponent casts a spell, so we get 1 zombie out of our Newscraft Mob. Opponent did lay down an Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, by the way, which will help our mana situation by fixing all of our black. So we should be able to pretty easily focus on blue and red for now. Wow, opponent's going to mutilate, looks like X3? Yeah, that's going to get all of our stuff. All right. So our Newscraft Mob going down. That's actually really important, because now that means that opponent doesn't have that card when we cast something else, which is good. Let's go Tails. 1 the flip. There's a Verdant Catacombs. Play the Mountain. And play Nicol Bolas. It's going to get remanded. Wonderful. Well, we can try it again next turn. So, opponent's burning a lot of cards to keep us in check from our super fast start. Remand, unfortunately, does replace itself, however. Phyrexian Arena coming down for the Vaevictis opponent. Our opponents, by the way, were facing off against Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, makes their white and blue spells cheaper and makes opponent spells cost 1 more. Pretty rough opponent, and the rest of the deck is probably going to be full of taxing effects, counter spells, and things that are really miserable to play against. Next up, we have Vaevictis Asmati the Dire, new commander, out of M19, 3 black, red, green for a 6/6. Whenever it attacks, basically Chaos Warp for each opponent on the board. And then finally, Gonti, Lord of Luxury, 2/3 Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of the target opponent's library, exile 1 of them face down, put the rest on the bottom, and you may look at and cast that card as long as it remains exiled. Spend mana as though it were any color. So opponent's going to reanimate our Newscraft Mob. That's a little bit annoying. Go Tails, lost the flip. There's a Fetid Pools. Try Bolas again. I mean, it's basically Bolas and a bunch of lands in our hand. We're a long ways away from Empty the Pits being good. So, Bolas coming in is going to trigger the Newscraft Mob. Bolas enters, each opponent's going to discard a card. Play the Verdant Catacombs, cycle the Fetid Pools. We get an Urza's Incubator, that's helpful. We actually don't need to crack the Verdant Catacombs because of Urborg. Could have used our mana a little bit better there, but I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. Opponents discarded a Plains, an Atali, that's a pretty big hit, and a Swamp. So, presume that Vaevictis is running some sort of recursion in their deck. Animate Dead, Necromancy, Reanimate, that sort of stuff. Grand Arbiter Augustin coming down. Phyrexian Arena trigger for the Vaevictis opponent. So spells will cost 1 more because of the Grand Arbiter. Opponent's going to Bojuka Bog. At the Grand Arbiter opponent, hits a remand. It's not all that exciting. That's actually the reason that I cut Bojuka Bog from a lot of my mono black decks, because you never draw it exactly when you want it. Either you get it turn 1, or you get it when you need an untapped land. It's just hard to actually get it when you want it. And in mono black decks, you actually care about the number of swamps in your deck until you get Urborg down. So it is a non-swamp that gets awkward a lot of the time. Opponent's going to play a Praetor's Grasp, choosing us. That's awkward. Hoping they go for a mana rock, just so that they play it, and then we know what it is, because now we've got 2 cards that are exiled face down, and like I said, opponent could be taking pieces of our combo, although I feel that pieces of our combo probably aren't overly useful to them. Opponent plays a Crucible of Worlds. Newscraft Mob triggers again. So opponent grabbed our Crucible of Worlds. And also our Cabal Coffers. I forgot. Cabal Coffers is in this deck by mistake. I forgot to pull it out. With Urborg out, opponent's actually going to be able to do a lot with that. So Gonti is now ahead. Gonti going to send Gonti into us. Yeah, we're not going to block because of the Death Touch. Spreads out the damage a little bit. That's fine. Back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Tails. Lost flip. We draw a Swamp. I think we attack someone and then flip over Bolas. Problem is we can't really protect Bolas all that well. It's not great. Play Sulphur Falls. Opponent says he wants to see Bolas flip. Well, he's going to flip. We're swinging into the Grand Arbiter opponent simply because trying to make friends with the Gonti opponent. We've got a Bolas. Being that there's a large token army, shooting a creature doesn't really make sense. Target creature or planeswalker. Any creatures or planeswalkers? There's an Atali. Atali's kind of cool. Not only that, Atali also gives us a blocker. I like Atali, but I'm going to plus right here because we need cards. Ooh, that's a Dragonstorm. And a Wheel of Fortune. It would basically take opponent just about everything to actually kill Bolas if they wanted to do that. Oblivion Ring coming down. Bet that hits us. Newscraft Mob going back to the graveyard. Yep, gonna exile the Bolas. So we paid 7 mana to draw 2 cards, essentially. Yeah, doesn't seem quite worth it. It's a lot of mana to flip that thing over. With all these zombie tokens running around, we're also about due for a board wipe, so hopefully someone's got one of those. Cultivate for the Vaevictis opponent. Opponent discards a Puppeteer click. Seems pretty good. Don't know why they discarded that. I would have held on to it personally. Newscraft Mob in the graveyard. Very reasonable. Opponent's gonna send everything at the Grand Arbiter opponent. Sounds good to me. I'd love to get Grand Arbiter out of the game. Opponent's going to block one of the zombies. Take the rest. Goes down to 24. Oh, that's a Consecrated Sphinx. Well, we can't Wheel of Fortune. Went tails. Lost the flip. Dragon's Horde. Opponent's going to get to draw some cards. Play a land. Play the Dragon's Horde. Play the Urza's Incubator. Naming Dragons. And then we will pass the turn. I think opponent's targeting down the Grand Arbiter pretty hard. Hopefully between them or Vaevictis has money, someone's got a board wipe. Which is why I didn't want to just like lay down Dragonstorm right there. Or empty the pits or anything like that. Opponent's going to Factor Fiction. No board wipes in hand. He's got to Dissipate, Pegasus Courser on Tamio's Journal. Reasonable split right there. Giving opponent the choice between lands or not lands. Opponent goes with the not lands, so they do have a Dissipate in hand. And Consecrated Sphinx drawing more cards. Grand Arbiter passes with all their mana open. That's not suspicious. We know about the Dissipate, but with Grand Arbiter out, they do have Cyclonic Rift mana. We have a lot of mana rocks that would hurt us reasonably bad. We would, however, get back our Crucible of Worlds. Oracle of Moldiah coming down for the Vaevictis opponent. Shows a Mosswarp Bridge on top. Plays the Mosswarp Bridge. The showing Warstorm Surge. That seems like something worth putting under the Mosswarp Bridge. That is one of your like kind of finishing cards, which is generally a good place to put those. Opponent gets 2 lands off of the top of the library with Oracle of Moldiah, getting all the value right there. Showing a Sensei's Divining top. Conjurer's Closet. That's going to be pretty good with Gonti. Opponent's going to rewind on the Conjurer's Closet. Opponent's sending everything back at the Grand Arbiter again. Opponent going to block another zombie. Liliana of the Dark Realms coming down. Nope, opponent's going to Dissipate it. So got a little blood feud going between the Grand Arbiter and the Gonti opponent. Shieldred coming into play. Now it's definite need for a board wipe right here. So I'm definitely going to Wheel of Fortune, so either we or one of our other opponents can find a board wipe. Shieldred trigger on us. No creatures in play. Let's go tails. Lost the flip. There's a Mana Drain. That's a card. Opponent gets to draw 2. Play the island. Really wanted to hold on to the Mana Drain, but I think, yeah, we just got a Wheel of Fortune right here. And opponent gets many Consecrated Sphinx triggers. Well, we got a Time Stretch out of the Grand Arbiter's hand. Hit a Cryptic Command, Chroma's Memorial, Hellkite Tyrant, Uvenwald Hydra, Sidisi. Cool. So, Gonti now has 33 cards in hand. We did catch a board wipe, though. I think the plan is going to be board wipe, counterspell, Gonti. So, Damnation. All the creatures going away. And we'll pass the turn. Counterspell anything that needs to get countered. Ooh, a Chroma's Vengeance. Nice. That's going to get rid of... Well, it's not going to stop as much mana. We lose Dragon's Horde. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about this, actually. Opponent will lose 3 mana. We're going to lose 2 mana rocks, which is, like, kind of a big deal. I think we let it resolve. Makes me sad, but I think that's what has to happen. Wow, we lost 4 cards of ours, and then... one of our cards that opponent was controlling. The reason there is that I think it's going to hurt Gonti worse than it's going to hurt us, I think. Yeah, maybe we needed that. I'm not sure. Woodfall Primus coming into play. Hopefully goes after the Cabal Coffers. Yep, going to hit the Cabal Coffers. Nice. So that's really going to bring Gonti down a peg. Opponent's trying to cast a Sensei's Divining top. Crypt Gas coming down for opponent. Oh, man. Yeah, counter that. Too much of an enabler. I play mono black, and mono black can do really bad things with a lot of mana. Opponent's going to Demonic Tutor. Wonder if they go for like a Thought Vessel or something. Going to Reanimate, getting an Uvenwald Hydra. Woodfall Primus does have Persist, though. Ooh, that's a Bloodchief Ascension. Opponent puts Dead Man's Chest on the Woodfall Primus. Enchanted creature opponent controls. When creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from top of owner's library. You may cast non-land cards among them as long as they remain exiled. Spend mana as though any color. So more of Gonti's ability. Kind of interesting. Oh my god, we drew Dragon Tempest. We have two... Oh, actually, well, I guess Dragon Tempest and Scourge are both part of our combo. Dragon Tempest and Scourge do the same part of the combo. That's a Purity coming into play. Nice. Actually, I think Purity stops our deck. If non-combat damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage, you gain life. Well, we could shoot the Purity first, I guess. Wow. I can't believe it. I have 6 star turn. That's embarrassing. So, opponent lays down an Ugin, which means that we maybe just caught a break by F6ing our turn. Ugin exiles everything, goes down to 1 counter, leaving only the Woodfall Primus. Now the question is, how do we get rid of the Ugin? We go Dragon Tempest Scourge of Valkus, which would get rid of the Ugin. Wow, we may have just caught a break F6ing our turn. That would be insane if we did. Ooh, opponent has Cabal Coffers back, which means they're going to have a lot of mana. They caught a Reliquary Tower somewhere in there, probably tutored for it, and so they do not have to discard to hand size. Well, it's going to play an Expedition map, crack an Expedition map, gets a Vesuva. Wonder where they go. Ooh, Cabal Coffers probably? Yep, it's a Cabal Coffers. Opponent's going to have a lot of mana. Candelabra of Tuana. Uh-oh, they're about to go infinite. So opponent can play every card in their hand. There's a Perilous Vault. Can exile all non-land permanents. Ha! They exiled their Candelabra. Nice. They play the Kick Josu Ves. Oh no, so I guess you need an untapped source to go infinite with Candelabra, but opponent's still generating a lot of mana. Sword of Feast and Famine. We are 1 piece short of our combo. I'm not going to run Scourge out there this turn because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to. I think we play the Dragon Tempest, play the Concentrate. Oh my god, that's a Mystical Tutor. There's a Rhystic Study. Crap, we already played a land. Can't get the Ancient Tomb down. So we can Mystical Tutor for Demonic Tutor, then play Arcane. We need 2 turns to be able to pull this off. So gonna have to lean pretty heavily on someone else having a board wipe and or slowing down the Gonti opponent. We're so close. Oh, we're so close, but there's a lot of things going on. Gonti has a ton of cards, no max hand size, tons of mana. That's a Guile. that's a card. Vaevictis Asmati coming into play. That is not a board wipe. Coalition Relic, also not a board wipe. Puts a counter on it. It's not good. Oh man, they're going to be able to generate so much mana. I guess we could just Cyclonic Rift. That's a thing we could do. There's an Ugin. Can't really minus the Ugin because they'll hit all of their own stuff. There's a Geth, Lord of the Vault. Opponent's going to use the Geth, getting an Oracle of Moldiah. Opponent showing a Helm of the Host on top of their library. So opponent going to swing full tilt at the Guile opponent and send the Josu Ves at Vaevictis Asmati. So Grand Arbiter Augustin getting taken out by the Gonti opponent. Ooh, opponent's going to Yawgmoth's Will? There's a million cards in their graveyard. Cage Sun. Animate Dead. On Reclamation Sage. Goes after our Dragon Tempest. Dragon Tempest down. Sol Ring. Thran Dynamo. Crux of Fate. Destroying all dragons. Vaevictis Asmati down. Felwar Stone. Cryptghast. Ashnod's Altar. Ooh, opponent can make a lot of mana with that. Well, I guess they already have a lot of mana, so they probably don't need to sacrifice their creatures. If they have an Exsanguinate, they could literally just kill us. Not sure if that was untrue before. Oh, opponent has to go. They scoop it. Wow. There's a Sidisi. Well, that's annoying. So now it's just us versus Vaevictis Asmati. Gives us a reasonable chance to try this combo. We need to crack the fetches. Let's get Watery Grave untapped. Crack the Verdant Catacombs. Get Badlands. Play Sidisi. Sacrifice Sidisi. Get Arcane Adaptation. Right now we have 5 mana left. I think we play Rhystic Study. And we'll play Strionic Resonator. We have the combo in hand, actually. We finally have all 3 pieces. We have the piece to make dragons, Scourge of Valkus, and Army of the Damned. Vaevictis Asmati coming down. Vaevictis Asmati has the ability to mess up our plans. Swiftfoot Boots, uh-oh, gonna get a Vaevictis trigger. Opponent Chaos Warps are Strionic Resonator. Hits a Canyon Slough. Crucible Fire, not helpful. Now this is a problem because of our combo. We need a way to generate a lot of mana. So we have to kind of stall for a second. I'm going to play the Crucible of Fire and Nicol Bolas. Opponent's going to have to discard a card. So Vaevictis Asmati going to swing again. More Chaos Warp triggers. Going to Chaos Warp our Nicol Bolas. We hit a Signet. We're down to 6. Opponent's going to Kodama's Reach. So we're going to have to Mystical Tutor for some answers. Can we win right here, actually? Let's think about this. So we have 11 mana left this turn. No, we're still too slow. So it's got to be Cyclonic Rift. So grab Cyclonic Rift, draw Cyclonic Rift, play Arcane Adaptation, choosing Dragon. So pass it to opponent's turn, Cyclonic Rift. Opponent's going to sell Vala's Stampede, pays for the Rhystic Study. Let's go wild. Ooh, they get a Brutalizer Exarch and a Zealous Conscripts. Ooh. So Vaevictis back to play, the Boots back to play, Zealous Conscripts. Opponent's going to borrow our Rhystic Study. Opponent's going to search their library for a creature and put it on top. Well, we need 1 untapped mana to execute the combo. If we have a land on top of our deck, we can get there. And I really wish we had our Rhystic Study for everything our opponent just cast. Zendikar Resurgent and a Wood Elves. We draw. It's a land! Oh, it's a land! Nice! Here we go. Get Untapped Mountain. Play Scourge of Valkus. Here we go. Shoot opponent for 1. Play Army of the Damned. Wow. We go down to 1 life. Here comes Army of the Damned and a whole bunch of Scourge of Valkus triggers. So we can shoot down all of our opponent's creatures except Vaevictis. Can shoot them a bunch of times. Opponent says GG. Oh no, so the trigger stopped at -3. So finally got the combo. Weird game. I misplayed. Opponent scooped. Just a really strange game, but we nailed the combo. I need to go back and clean this deck up a little bit. It needs some polish to really make this combo more effective. Things like Urza's Incubator need to come out. Been having a lot of trouble actually getting Arcane Adaptation, Conspiracy, and Xenograph. They just don't seem to show up very often, which I think means more card draw and probably just more board wipes, things to slow the game down. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.